What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top side of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Hagrid. His opponent today in the red color, also playing as Zeus. A spicy start to a spicy series. His name is Shadowfax. Oh, dearie me. This matchup is a completely bonkers skill matchup with lots of spicy strategy to be thrown into the mix to really shake things up. Unlike the Hades or Poseidon variants of the Greek mirror, Zeus versus Zeus has got a lot of action to be had in center, in Athena options, in town center grabbing, all of the good stuff here as well. But both these players making it through the first round of this pretty fiery tournament thus far. Some incredibly high level players in the kind of open, in the main bracket, I should say. Incredibly high level players. So if you've won one game or one series in this main bracket, it means that you are one of the top 8 players in the game. That means a lot. If you win 2 series, that means you would be in the top 4, which means even more. And yada, yada, yada. You can work the rest out, can't you? I think so. Over here we do see the Flagstone of Buhen, the negative 25% wall reduction cost. And we'll see how this is all going to go. We've got ourselves over here a whole bunch of giraffe. Got town centers which look like they're fairly bad. So this might be a one town center type of matchup here. So there's a strategy that I'm not sure any top players have really been doing, but I think it's incredibly powerful for Zeus, especially Zeus against Hades or Poseidon. But I think the idea that it could be used against Zeus is definitely there. And the idea is that you simply don't make any units. You just make center and go one town center fast mythic. This is something that Magyar actually used to do way back in the day when he was trolling in team games. But funnily enough, when Magyar is trolling, it's actually still a ridiculously strong strategy. So apparently Peggy did it. All right. Well, anyways, just mass center into the Mythic Age, and then you get access to Bellerophon, you get access to Lightning Storm, and then you can go for an Underworld play in order to finish the game off against a greedy 2-town center player. Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits, Heedless Chicken. Appreciate you. That's so nice. Thank you, my friend. You're a legend. Thank you so much. So the reason why I'm saying the strategy is probably a decent one on this map is just simply because the town centers are awful. There's nothing close to the town centers at all. Both of them. There's like a wood line on this one. This one's got a wood line and arguably a gold mine, but it's super out in the open. It's very difficult to defend. There's no trees here that can defend it. Over here, same too. It's got the wood over here, wood over here. Gold mine is behind the town center, but still you'd have to wall off over here and be able to defend the wall on this position over here. It's just going to be a bit of a nightmare there. Over here, this gold mine in the middle of nowhere. There's a lion on there as well. Town center over here is a bit sad. Both players going through Hermes. Looks like Shadowfax going a little bit later than Hagrid at the start of this game. We'll see how it's all going to go. 2 villagers on the temple here to get that favor income. What's happening over here? Shadowfax also with 2 villagers on favor. Hagrid got a little bit more favor though than Shadowfax at this point. I'm not sure exactly what happened there as Hand Axe is going to be coming in. We do see the relic has been kind of uncovered, as also the Dwarven Calipers is going to get picked off. This one's the reduction in siege cost. So 20% less on your Petropolis and Heliopolis. The other thing that you can actually do to kind of make the fast mythic work, and especially in team games, is go for the Blitzkrieg strategy, which is effectively straight into Heliopoli, into an underworld, and pop up behind enemy lines. It's a hilarious strategy and actually ridiculously strong as well if you hit the timings correctly. As we see the Jason wandering over here to the left. going to be coming in to try and defend this one. You don't really want to cast Bolt on the enemy centaur. You want to be using it on the, as we see the Bolt getting dropped, you want to be using it on the Odysseus. So advantage Hagrid at this point, because he's going to be able to bolt the opposing player's centaur. And you might ask the question, hang on, is it not better to bolt a centaur that costs 12 favor instead of 2 favor? Both things cost 200 wood favor with the extra favor. Well, I mean, arguably the resource difference is important, but more arguably is that the Odysseus just super value in the army. And not only that, you also have to afford to, you have to build the Odysseus again, which is going to be a bit of a cost reduction, or loss, I should say, in villages. As we do see one centaur falling there, as the Odysseus does snipe that one off, as well as the bolt coming down. And like we said, now Shadowfax going to have to push back. Thanks so much for the 3 months, Marty. Appreciate you so much, my friend. Thank you for your continued support. And there's a forced ceasefire in the early stages of the game here. Funnily enough, I actually would have preferred to see the ceasefire used to defend the wood earlier than using the bolt on the centaur. That's how different it should be. But we do see Odysseus coming in, still holding on to this relic. Probably should have brought that back and dropped that one off, but not happening just yet. As more centaur are coming in, Hagrid's now able to afford himself Sylvan Lore, where Shadowfax is not. And we are seeing a lot of food coming through for Shadowfax, as seems to me like he might be thinking about spending some of those resources on Hippocon. Hagrid, on the other hand, I don't see any real attempt at building any units here, and he's going for a town center, it would seem. So villagers are making their way over here. So this is more standard Greek theory. It just doesn't quite work for this map, is my argument. So we'll see how it's going to go. As Sylvan Lore now coming through for Shadowfax. He's going to move over onto these villages. He will find a villager kill here if Hagrid doesn't react. He is bringing his Odysseus in onto this position right now with the Jason. So the centaur are going to have to retreat away. He loses another centaur. This is absolute nightmare for Shadowfax. He loses both of his centaurs. He was distracted by the raid from Hagrid. That was really, really good. Hagrid's got such a crazy advantage right now in this game. Not only that, he's going to be attempting to take down some of these villages here. Special attack onto one of them. Not able to take it down, but does reduce it down to 16 HP. As the villager over here getting pushed off of the temple, as well as the Odysseus coming in. That was just absolutely dirty play from Hagrid, distracting with the centaur while pushing in to take those centaur down. Not only that, he's now pushing in, dealing with this forward base here, or forward, I shouldn't say base, but forward food gathering operation, as the Hippocon going to meet his demise here to the Odysseus. The Jason will also find itself falling here as well, as more centaur coming in. You definitely want to be using your centaur to take down the opposing player's centaur, which is exactly what's happening here. Hagrid's control in this game is unreal. I feel like Hagrid's absolutely leveled up in the recent couple of months or weeks. He's just completely outplaying Shadowfax, and Shadowfax is no pushover when it comes to micro. He's one of the strongest naval players in the game, but this is a different type of micro. This is centaur micro, and things do change quite a lot here, as we're also seeing Hippocon getting taken down here. This is one of the reasons why I say you don't need to even build cavalry, because you can just snipe them off with your centaur if you get enough of them. As they're going to be moving around, doing all the good stuff. We see Shadowfax attempting to get this town center, but instead deciding to move over onto this granary over here, as he's going to be moving for the top town center, it would seem. As the centaur moving in here, try and find a villager kill or 12. The hero's coming in to defend. A house coming up over here. As the centaur sneaking in, we will be seeing a villager kill. Oh, yes, he gets it. Beautiful play there by Hagrid. Gets in, gets out, takes no damage. And he might even spot these villagers here if he goes out to the corner, but deciding not to. So we're going to be seeing this town center coming up for Shadowfax here. As the centaur going to be retreating all the way up to the top side. Swinging around, looking for someone else to pick off. Do we have more Hippocon coming out? Not really. Just a stray Hippocon chilling over here. as Hagrid's just got a commanding advantage in the villager count. He's getting himself plow. He does have himself a single stable, though. Again, I don't think that there's a whole lot of point to cavalry here. We see a villager getting picked off. Just barely one going down, two going down. The villager's retreating away from the rhino, a little bit slow there, almost picking off another villager. Shadowfax is in a world of pain here as he's getting a third town center out and seeing if he can catch up on the villager count here, as Hagrid smartly here, I would say, going to be looking to go towards the heroic age. As the centaur do come over onto this position, the villager is going to be pulling back into the town center. Not going to be losing those too easily here. And these villagers will have to think about somewhere else to go. They do decide to come onto that hippo there, which is very, very aggressive. Checking out the berries bush in the corner here, looking onto the wood line. And Hagrid does. Okay, so Hagrid is deciding to go for the town center. So just keeping his advantage, I would assume. So now the centaur do move forward, and they will spot these villagers on the on the temple, as the villagers kind of just matrix their way through the temple for a little bit. Now seeing the centaur coming in, going to be finding the opposing centaur here. You'd have to be a little bit careful here, even though you do have the special ability. It's not really going to be worth it. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Tleviente? No, Tlevente. My screen is too small or something. Appreciate you so much, my friend. It's great to be back. As Hagrid's going to be retreating back home. He's got his army ready to push forward. Such a big advantage army-wise. But, I mean, what can he really attack is the big question. Sharpmine coming through for Shadowfax. Hagrid with plenty of resources in the bank. Hagrid gets his third town center up. Farms will be getting dropped down as well. As the centaur going to be getting targeted down. The Odysseus retreating back. As the centaur coming through, they will be able to take down some of these Hippocon. Takes down two beautiful micro there, making sure he uses the special correctly and not overkilling that low HP Hippocon there. And in that moment, Shadowfax does decide to tap out here. One of the shorter Greek mirrors you're ever going to see, and this all just comes down to Hagrid just basically completely outplaying Shadowfax here. Thanks so much for the 8 months. RTS Sanctuary, your place, your home for expert recorded games of Age of Mythology and other RTS games. Yes, go check them out. But Shadowfax getting arguably just completely outplayed here. First mistake, bolting a centaur. Second mistake, losing his centaur over here. And from then, it all just snowballs. And Hagrid put the pressure on where he needed to. And it was just too much for Shadowfax to handle here. So a really well played game here from Hagrid, starting the series off to a very, very strong start. We'll see if he can maintain it throughout this entire series to win this one or not. But Hagrid gets his first point. If you guys are enjoying these games, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.